any of that stuff is going to mess up the chemistry in the tank. If you have the house sprayed outside for like termite control or annual, biannual, or whatever pest control, if any of that leaches, you know, into the air column, it ultimately saturates into the water column in your tank. So any of those factors are going to mess up the chemistry in your tank, and that's stuff you can't really test for. You know, I mean, we can test a lot of stuff, but you can't test for lotion in your tank. Or, you know, if you reach deep in the tank and you got some deodorant and it gets in the tank, it's going to saturate the tank quickly. Immediately upon contact, it's going to dissipate into the system. So I know all you are aware of it. Just be as aware as possible. I think most of us know these kits because they're the least expensive, but they're accurate. They're not bad. I mean, they're pretty good. Everybody knows API. I think, if anything, most people have that one. If you don't even have this one, I don't know what to say. If anything, these two. If you want to get a little more, you can move up to these other ones. You're going to get more tests out of them. You can do refills on some of these other ones. You can buy the refill titrations for this too. I guess everybody knows. Two-part. Everybody's good on that. Have you tested after the cycle was complete, after an addition, and found a spike? Maybe in a smaller tank or even a larger tank. Decided to buy another 50 pounds of rock or something 6 months later, and you got a spike. If it wasn't cured, or even if it was cured, maybe the nitrobacters weren't there. Let's hope we got. It's 8, we did 9. Doesn't have to be exact. What's our smallest tank? Andy? 8? 6?
2.5.
Come on. Nice. 2.5. Anybody beat that one?
It's on the form, on your form. Remember the rimless one?
That's a 2.5 gallon?
That's
I remember seeing that.
It's 2.5 gallons.
Wow. Impressive. So 2.5. Any little thing. Remember we talked about earlier, less room for error.
Yeah.
If you can keep a 2.5, you can keep 250 gallon. No problem. Are you any noticeable difference?
I haven't really had any problem. In the beginning, trying to figure everything out with the chemistry because it's so small.
Because that's a small volume of water. And what do you have displacement? What do you think? Quarter of a gallon displacement with sand and rock? Half a gallon maybe?
So probably,
do you think it's a full 2.5?
It's probably just two gallons. Probably that. Maybe a little bit less.
Dang, that's awesome. And then your 6?
Yeah, I figure it's at least 20%, 20 to 30% displacement.
Got some displacement, and we all need to factor that in when we're dosing. That's why I'm kind of getting to that. If you got a 100-gallon tank and 100 pounds of rock, you don't have a 100-gallon tank. You got, who knows? There's an equation, but ultimately it's going to be different from system to system. I mean, you know, so you kind of need to prorate that and see how much water you really have, and then prorate your dosing too. So don't dose for the amount of water that this aquarium holds. You're going to have to, you want to low shoot, if anything, overdosing, especially alkalinity, the alkalinity buffers, that's when you're going to get in trouble. Where's Kenny? Did he have to go? I think Ken might have had to leave. His system spiked up alkaline and burned the tips. This is one I know. Every day, 5, 6 a day, we get people coming in wanting this test. On established tanks, been running 6 months, a year, who knows? And I'm wondering why they keep coming in and day out having me test it. I don't know what they're learning. Hopefully we don't have it. 4, 5. Natural. Yeah.
So like taking them outside
yeah.
and looking at them?
Yeah, because all these blues, I mean, I'm kind of accustomed to it now, and you definitely want, you definitely want a white backdrop. If you can get a white backdrop, you're going to be, that's what you want. But any light blue in the blue spectrum is going to throw it off. I mean, incandescent fluorescents are fine. Fluorescent lighting's fine. Like the ceiling lights are probably fine. But with all the aquarium lights, the 20Ks, the 12Ks, that's what's really going to throw us off. Okay, so we're good. Everybody knows nitrite. That one's gone. Ammonia, pH, not bad. Not 8.4 though. Not as purple as we'd like it, but definitely doable. Let's open up one of these. Oh, cool, man. Oh, sweet. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate that, bud. Let's do,
Sometimes I'll do it twice because
yeah.
after you do once, you don't remember what to file and what to
Yep, and compare them. Yep, compare them. Or, I mean, you'll put one extra drop or one less drop. I mean, that's not, you don't want to mix them. That was just a demonstration there. That was a demonstration there of what not to do. I don't want to charge for people to come here to learn, but I want you to leave with not only some better understanding or even a full understanding or any kind of any information you can learn or I can learn from you guys. Because don't think I haven't learned some today. Listen to the questions, pointing out different factors, different things I haven't thought about. But I also want you to leave, you know, hey, I went and participated. You know, we're getting a discount just for showing up. It's, you know, it's going to cost you time. That's all it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some time. But I mean, you're not going to get it anywhere else. Not like this kind of setting where we can all kind of interact, all get our questions out, and really, you know, that's what it's all about, man. That's all I'm trying to do. I think we're good. All right, so we're good there. We're good, pretty much good across the board. I don't think nobody should really be experiencing, you know, once your system's up, man, you're good to go. I mean, pH is a little low, but not too bad. Nah. Phosphates. Anybody testing phosphates?
I do.
So we got some people testing phosphate. That's a big one. Phosphates, you start seeing that filamentous algae, start seeing that green glass. Could be the mag's low, could be the phosphates are high, could be both. Photo periods too long. You know, photo periods are misunderstood in a big way. You turn them on when you get up, you turn them off when you go to bed. Bad. We want to mimic the wild. You know, a lot of people are just kicking it on at random. You know, so the photo period's big time. Old bulbs, the intensity's gone, promotes algae growth. I mean, if you want to grow microalgae in your refugium, you can use an old bulb, but don't put it over your display. You know, you don't want to do that. But phosphates are a big one. I think a lot of people are overlooking phosphates in your system. Destroys, literally just destroys skeletal growth and tissue in LPS and SPS corals. Soft corals, they can handle it. They just process it out, maybe even absorb some of it. Any skeletal based, anything with septal ridges, you know, you guys know the LPS corals, SPS corals, anything with a skeleton, that's the ones phosphate's really going to affect. So if I don't have any phosphates either. I don't think so. You guys know I've run the media reactors. Those media chambers, man, they're the deal. If you're not running them and you got a reef, I'd run them. I wouldn't run a reef without a media reactor. And it's not a calcium reactor. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. It's just a media chamber, 4 inches, 3 inches. Water goes in, goes through the media of choice, comes back out. A lot of people using them, no. Phosphate bags, sponges. A lot of people just doing the bags. Bags are kind of the way to go, I guess, a little easier. This is my favorite phosphate. This is the one. My personal one. It's the easiest one to read. Blue light, uractinic, 11 hours. White light, halide, PCs, 6 to 8. If you're running halides, when I was at home and I had my tank at the house, I ran my halide 6 hours. That was it. But I ran my actinics 11. So I had a longer warm up, a longer cool down, a shorter halide photo period, but it was enough. I mean, I had great growth. So if you guys are running 10, 12 hour, 10K light cycles, it's just too much. You're overexposing the corals, the coral tissue, and they'll actually just close down after a certain point. They'll just go to sleep because it's a natural function. They're going to go to sleep. They're over it. So we want to.
What about two lights?